Alright, hello everybody, and on today's elevator parts video, we're going to be taking a detailed look at this historic Otis car panel. Now this is a panel which will soon be going to the elevaTOURs Elevator Museum, but before it goes there, it's here with me, where we're going to be taking a detailed look at it and seeing how this thing works. Now this panel was purchased with funds from the patron supporters of Andrew's channel. So a huge thank you to all the supporters of the channel and for helping make the acquisition of this panel possible. Without the donations from the patron supporters, the Elevator Museum may not have this piece, as this was not a cheap piece to acquire. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing and then break it down and take a look on the inside. Now this is definitely the kind of panel you would see on a historic elevator. Now this was obviously an automatic elevator, as we have 5 different floors here. So starting from the top, we first see we've got the old Otis globe here, which is beautifully placed into the panel. It's part of it. It's not like a little stick-on. This is actually engraved into the panel. We've also got these very nice decorative accents around the sides, and then this kind of little half circle bit on the top. We can see there's a little bit of discoloration right here, and there's a bit throughout the panel. Nothing really bad. If you look at it from on top though, you can't really see it. You can just kind of see it more in the light. And as we sit down here, you can see a little bit of the discolorations, but it's definitely not bad at all. So up here we have the light switch. Now on the video, it doesn't look like it's that big, but this is actually a pretty big light switch. And it's very heavy. It's a very heavy duty switch. So it's just crazy that just a simple light switch is this big and this extreme. And you'll see what I mean when we do the teardown. Here we have the alarm bell. Now obviously this would ring the alarm if you got stuck in the elevator. The emergency stop, this is the only red button on the panel, and it presses differently than all the other buttons, and there's a reason for that, which we'll see in the teardown. And then of course we've got the floor buttons. You can see this is a 5-floor lift with 4 above ground floors and then the basement. And all of these buttons press very nicely. The actual condition of the button, all the buttons are in very good shape. The only thing is there's a minor little break here on the B's, a little bit of chipped off. But other than that, all the buttons are in great shape. And overall, this whole panel is in great shape. And then on the bottom, we have the other kind of rounded bit here with the accents that go around. So kind of turning it to the side, we can see the box. Here's some of the old wiring. Only a few of the original wires. It looks like there is some wire here as well. And you can see there's kind of these little pieces mounted together here, which is kind of interesting. And we can turn the box over even further. You can see screws on the other side. And the box is in very good shape. So now let's get to the teardown. Take a look at this thing from the inside and see how it all works. So there are 6 total screws. They're these kind of neat looking Phillips head screws. There are 2 evenly spaced throughout the panel. So we have to remove all 6 of them. Once the 6 screws are removed, the panel can come off. It's very heavy and very well built. You can see here. Here we can see a little bit of text on the back, some sort of identification number. And now we can see the inside of the panel. So just doing a quick scan down the buttons, we can see how well built these were and how interesting they are. So we're going to break down each type of button and see how it works. So like I said before, this light switch is very big and very solid and probably overly built for a light switch, and you can see why. Look how big this light switch is. And when we slide it down, you notice the little metal bars lift up, and when you push it up, they push down. It's pretty crazy for just this little light switch, but you can see here how it works. There's the spring down there. And I think that's pretty awesome. Here we have the alarm button, and you can see how this kind of works. We've got the actual button, which is on this little hinge. There's this metal piece here, which is on another hinge, and when you press it down, it completes the circuit right there. Now remember how I said that the emergency stop pressed differently? That's because it does. These are normally closed contacts, meaning that the current can flow through the switch right here. See the metals are touching. There's actually 2 switches here. And when we press down, it opens the circuit, so current can't flow through it. And here we have the floor buttons, which are essentially the exact same thing as the alarm, which we can see a little bit better how they work. We've got the base down there, little piece on the hinge here, and when we push the button down, it makes the contact. So that's pretty neat. And all the buttons look exactly the same. Here's this little plate of metal which kind of moves around. So that's the inside. Gonna go ahead and put this thing back together. It is kind of a pain to put back together because these buttons are on a hinge, so you have to push them all up like this before you place the top on. And there we go, a breakdown of this awesome old historic Otis elevator panel. Nothing really we can wire on this unless we want to hook the switch up to an actual light or maybe have the alarm ring a bell. But other than that, there's really no wiring to do on this thing. So that's really all there is going to be for this video. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown of this panel and got to see how it works a little bit. Again, a huge thank you to the Patreon supporters for making this happen. This is definitely going to be a great piece to display in the elevator museum and show off to people. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time.